You are live. Good morning, everyone out there in
Good morning.
YouTube land. Look at special guest star Steve, Mac84, joins us.
Like a bad penny, I always turn up.
He's going to give us his field trip notes from, when was it? Was it last weekend or weekend before?
The weekend before that.
Weekend before. Vintage Computer Festival, Midwest.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm still reminiscing because I'm finally getting a lot of the more was it? It was actually 2 weeks before. Yeah, it was the weekend of the 10th, and the 11th rather. But a lot of YouTubers are putting up their content, and so I'm reliving it through whatever they're showing.
Yeah,
which is like, oh, I missed this, I didn't see that. So that's cool.
Yeah, of course you have I saw you have the full report. I think you get like a half-hour video in detail of your finds and
there should be another part coming up because I want to talk more about what I saw. So the first part is sort of like, hey, here's what I picked up, sort of like a very self-centered type of a video. And I shot so much footage, so the second will explain, what cool exhibits I saw, etc. So.
Neat.
But hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to subscribe because you got to do it.
Checking in, Jeremy.
Yeah,
Australia
Michael,
here.
Dave.
Michael, hello.
Dave's Vintage Apple Tech.
Steve, again, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
James, I told you to change that StreamYard link.
He just keeps coming in. Turn this to a Windows podcast. That'll scare the crap out of him and make him leave.
Do you remember what one you're for?
Did you notice my hat, John? Steve noticed right away.
Zoom in. I can't see it. Zoom in. Yes. Independence Day 4. No, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. This,
I bet he has one too.
No, I don't, but I've got something related. Just so I can
find
it.
I think this is like it says 20th Century Fox on the label, so it was a studio-made hat. Maybe they even wore these on set, and because they had the Apple tie-in, they went ahead and stuck the Apple logo on.
That was, I mean, I grew up, going. I was look at that, that's cool.
It's a lenticular. Do you see that?
Didn't that come with the videotape or something? That's
I really don't know.
I have a pin that has the PowerBook, whatever. I think it was like the 5300 series or whatever.
Yeah.
Put the X on it, and it says like the power to save the world.
Right. It was the Wall Street, wasn't it?
I think it was like the 5300 or the 3400. It was before the G3. Because I just remember a joke of my friends, my very geeky friends, talking about the movie. Hey, it's a first generation, second generation PowerBook. There's no way it could be doing that with that battery life,
Yeah, that was the hard part to believe in that movie, right?
Yes. The aliens, I believe. This, I believe. But the PowerBook battery life,
what?
No,
that just takes me out of the movie. Yes. I call shenanigans.
I call shenanigans.
Klaus from Sweden has joined us.
Yes. Hello, everybody in the chat. Just keep on piling in.
I think I may even have the jacket that goes.
That's one of those movies that I kind of have an obsession with because it was like it was a big movie when I was a kid. So I had the toys. They came with a floppy disk. Of course, it was PC only. Years later, I would find out there were actually games on that disc. But so I have the laser disc of the movie and a poster somewhere. And it's one of those. You shove popcorn in your face. You enjoy the movie for 2 hours.
Oh heck yeah, absolutely.
Hey, all right, it's time.
It's time.
Start this thing. Okay,
sure.
Let's get going here. Let's go in 3. Oh, let me scroll down here. It's 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John and Steve. This is episode 588 for September 26, 2021. Good morning, John, and good morning, Steve.
Good morning, James. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, James. Good morning, John.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Well, 3 of us are together again. This is another special opportunity to check in with Steve. He's going to join us on the show for the duration and specifically later on share with us his experiences from Vintage Computer Festival Midwest. Oh, he's got the T-shirt.
Oh,
One of them.
fantastic! Nice shirt.
One
Love
of
it.
them. You got many T-shirts.
Yeah, this was I think
Different
the
versions?
2019 or 2020 version. And then I have the other one, which is in the wash.
So this wasn't your first time.
No, they had the old shirts on purchase for a donation
nice.
to help the event because it's all free actually. So.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, we'll get to that later on. And I think maybe when we talk news, we'll check in with your channel and see what you've been working on over there.
Sure.
John,
Yes.
anything new with you? I see there's like a
no.
piece of a Mac or something. What's that behind you on the tub over your left?
That is the Mac Plus. I actually have everything set up to start soldering some Mac Plus analog boards. So wish me luck. I got some console
you, John.
5 kits.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I'm not sure anything else we need to talk about here at the front of the show. We'll just take a quick break and we'll be back with some eBay finds. All right.
Yeah, I figured the Mac Plus was a good one to start with since it's all through board versus surface mount.
Smart man. Smart man.
All right. Let's get this guy up here. All right. And let's go in 3, 2, 1. It's time now for some eBay finds. Remember those I'd rather be driving a Macintosh bumper stickers we had? Came along with a lapel pin as well. That one did not sell. It had a $49 initial bid, and it has been relisted. Dropped the price. $39 this week only. Ends in 4 days. And then the G4 tower. This is the dual processor G4, right? The wind tunnel. Anybody remember what the official code name was for that one?
No, but I like to call it the quad nostril.
Quad nostril,
personally,
that?
yes.
The unofficial nickname.
That sounds official to me.
Had a 17-inch studio display, and both of these in box. This one, it says, what does it say? You know, it's just one of these that says it's currently sold out, and I get no. eBay does every once in a while. They do these weird things where they give you look up the listing and you can't tell what the heck.
Oh yeah, they're terrible from a historical perspective.
It's like currently sold out. So
I just like
whatever that means.
the photo there. There's this Mac Classic on its side on the far right of it.
Yeah,
It just looks so sad.
Yeah.
Yes.
It just gave up.
I'm back here. It's okay.
I'm not dead yet.
And the oh gosh, I guess some independent place did this cutaway version of the Macintosh SE in poster form. This one's still available for the low price, buy it now, of $999.99, or you can make an offer. Okay.
Yeah, that purple and blue on the Apple logo looks highly suspect.
Yeah. Let's see. We'll start with this one. The title says extremely rare, museum quality Apple Lisa 2 with peripherals. This is in Australia. I saw this over in the Vintage Macintosh Reddit thread that I guess the seller, it's being sold on behalf of the seller who's not doing well, and an elderly owner of this. And I wasn't sure, maybe even original owner. So let's see. Let's decode this from the picture. Well, I guess there's some here in the description. It says once in a lifetime opportunity to acquire an Australian-based Apple Lisa 2. The first example to come to light in Australia in recent history. Michael can refute that maybe. This Apple Lisa 2 was discovered mid-2021 in storage in regional Victoria, along with a variety of other early and significant Apple machines, products, and software, known as the Alexandra Apple Cache, having originated in the collection of a prominent early Australian IT professional and computer collector. They say they will supply the name and details to the winning bidder. Oh, okay.
Weird.
It's a mystery. Was purchased new at some point between 85 and 86, sat unused on a shelf until the original owner gave ownership of the cache to its current seller. It says the machine booted successfully without issue several years ago. However, no testing has been conducted recently, as it may require new capacitors or recapping prior to being powered up safely. Yeah, so they don't want to risk turning it on at this point. But no external damage. All the keyboard seems to work. CRT is in perfect condition. Well, except that we don't know that for sure, right? I mean,
to me, this is reading as is. I want a lot of money. You buy it, you figure it out later.
Yeah. So you get the Lisa 2, the keyboard. There's also an Apple dot matrix printer thrown in there, a Mac mouse, Lisa software, and assorted brochures, instruction manuals, etc. So,
yeah,
what do they want for all this? They want, yikes, $2,500.
Yikes, indeed. Especially since it's not shown on in the photo. They have not tested it in years.
Doesn't have the right mouse.
It doesn't have the right mouse. That's correct. Who knows what else is not period correct on this? Because although they might have gotten this from there's a SCSI cable on the top of it. I mean, for God's sake. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going on with this thing? It looks like that's an Apple II floppy drive at the very top. Looks like the Unidisc, is it? I could be mistaken.
What is going on?
It looks like some
kind
floppy
of does look like that.
or a hard drive or something.
Right. It was thrown in there.
But I saw at VCF Midwest somebody sold a fairly complete Lisa that worked. Mm-hmm. It had some minor issues, but I think it sold for around $900 or something like that.
That's actually not bad at all. Right.
Exactly. So, this is a Lisa 2, etc. But I know firsthand from Bruce cursing at at this screen that the Lisas are not entirely easy to get working again. So this seems like a project. Caution.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, this had to go to the right owner that can work on it. So it's a little overpriced. There's no make an offer. It's just a strict bid, but starting at $2,500, ends at the end of the week. Okay.
I guess we'll see if somebody will purchase it.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
Next up, we have a very reasonably priced Moeller Mac, the G3 all-in-one, the one that was only sold educationally. This is a great, what would you want to call it, like a bridge system, because it's got a lot of the newer technology, but also a lot of the older technology all crammed in one very unusually shaped case. If anyone who has never seen one of these, Moeller fits it very well. It's a beast of a system too, as you can tell by this one, because right now it's got one bid, $175. Again, really good price for these. You don't get them that often. Shipping for this would also be over $100, $127 for shipping. This is coming out of Minnesota. It looks like, looking at the stats on the bottom, it looks like it's pretty standard for what it would have been for just like your base system, 6 gig hard drive and 64 meg of RAM. These are really upgradable. I'm trying to see if it
has the personality card.
Personality card, yeah, that's what
for the video.
Check on. Yeah, so it's got the good personality card as opposed to the bad personality. No, so this has got like S-video in and out. It's got your AV jacks. So that's a good one. Also, this one has a USB card. So great, you've got some USB ports, which normally you don't have. And it has, looks like another Ethernet card. So it's got built-in Ethernet, but, it's probably, I think it was just 10 base built-in, so I'm guessing this is probably a faster Ethernet card in this.
Yeah.
And it looks nice. It looks in good shape.
Except there's this.
Exactly.
Where?
Missing Apple.
Well, no, it's not missing. I can tell you right now, it's inside the case because I've got something like that too. That it just popped out and it's probably rattling around in there in the shell somewhere.
Yeah, those are.
It should look like this side, right?
It should look like that side. Yes. Yeah.
Probably an easy fix.
And it's just a tip for anybody who's looking to purchase one of these. It's very difficult unless you're in person to tell if it actually has a zip drive there, because if it did not, all they did was put a blanking plate there. So I got very excited.
So it looks, that is a very good point. It's got a built-in slot area for a zip drive, and like you said, it's very hard to tell in this picture.
It kind of looks like it's there.
I want to say it does look
well,
like
see,
it's there.
It looks like a little lip
it
in the
could,
door.
but that if you look at another photo, it looks black. So I think what is happening is the light is hitting that black plate, and it's reflecting.
Reflecting
but,
off, yeah.
See, as the floppy drive to the right, it's a void because the area is open. So
Yeah.
it's very hard to tell. Otherwise, the machine looks great. I would never ship one of these, but that's just me.
Yes, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be really tough to ship down.
Yeah, I mean, the iMacs are one thing to ship. The Compact Macs are another thing to ship. This is a whole other ballgame. This is double the size of the weight.
Yeah, they are really, really heavy.
Yeah. All right. Well, so what do we say on the price? We think that's
$175. Yeah, no, that's that right now. One bid.
I will say
that's
at
a great price.
VCF Midwest, a guy was asking $200 for one, and it sold for $150, and another one sold for $150 instantly. So I think that's a very reasonable price for one of these machines.
Yeah, especially if you're picking it up in person, as
yeah.
opposed to having to get it shipped.
Yeah, ship and pray. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, and look at this little brochure advertisement. The title says Vintage 90s Apple Macintosh Computer Ad, Poster Brochure, Decision Details, Classic Mac. Very good condition, has been stored folded and will be shipped that way. This caught my eye because we were talking about monitors last week. We were talking about primarily the portrait display monitor that John has set up, but remember they also had the dual page display. What do you see on the cover of this brochure? You don't see either of those because
the Radius,
they hadn't come out yet. So you see, the Radius one, which had come out the year before. So how often do you see another company's product on an Apple advertisement brochure? Very rare, right? So that's kind of rare. These are cool brochures, and Steve even has. Do you have this exact one or something similar?
I have a very similar one. What's interesting is there is a page about monitors here. So this is this part here, and then when you fold it out, I'll show you the monitor page there if I can get that on camera. And you can see those are Apple's displays on that side there. And then if you go to the right, they're actually showing an eMachine's color monitor. So again, they're showing a non-Apple display, but let's see what we got here. You can read, I can't. Looks like we have the 12-inch, the high-resolution 13-inch, the portrait, and then the 2-page monochrome. Yeah, so they did not have a large color one.
Nice, okay.
Mm-hmm. So they are talking about third-party products, and that's just one page. I won't bore you with the whole thing, but if I could...
So it's not exactly, but it's in nearly the same time period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As we're looking at here on the eBay.
And there is a page with the portable, if my fingers will cooperate here. There we go. And there's a copyright date of 1990 on it, so that sort of gives you the timeline. And I'd love to scan these in, so that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, so you're talking about finding a special scanner that can allow you.
Yeah, if anybody has access to a scroll scanner, I'll make you busy.
I used to. Oh.
And I have another one, again, with the copyright date of 1990, and this is slightly different. This has performance things here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
which monitor is that on the far right?
Let's see. Can you identify it? Looks like the Apple one.
The two.
Yeah, that's the Apple 2-page.
That's the monochrome one.
Right.
Let's see if I could live really quick find anything else. Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
Hey, very nice.
Lots of great old pictures there. Yeah, I mean, so much work went into these, and they are worthy of hanging on a wall.
Oh yeah.
They are just stapled together, so one could hopefully just. I mean, this one's coming apart in the middle.
Oh, that's great too. Yeah.
But theoretically, if I had a wide enough scanner, I could just scan these in and reconstruct them. So if anybody has a scroll scanner, Mac84 TV at gmail.com, let me know.
How hard is it to, John? I'm sure you've done this, like having to Photoshop out the folds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just depending on how bad the fold is, it takes some finessing. It's doable, sure.
And then you scan it, and it's 1 degree off, and it makes your life a living hell.
Well, this one that the seller is selling also has there's this breakdown, details of the whole line that they had at the time, which began with the Macintosh Classic and ended with the 2FX. And so they break down all the glorious specs there of the day, system software. And
I know I have another one that has a listing like that, so I may actually have this one somewhere.
One of the things I've been toying with for years is making little museum little placards for my computers.
Oh, neat.
Figuring out exactly what information to display and how to arrange it.
I'll go you one better.
Yes.
Yeah, I like to do that too.
They have nice. Never mind. That looks a world's better than what I would have thought of. But
have you made a lot of those? Or
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't remember that. Anyway,
well, John, you have a customer now. James will buy you a whole bunch.
Template.
I saw somebody do this with their collection. If you go to a department store, they'll have those little e-ink displays, and it'll say the price or whatever. Well, someone actually has a kit you could buy where there are these e-ink displays and a wireless apparatus, and you could send data to them. So you could say this
that's awesome.
Whatever. I mean, the resolution I'm sure is poor, but it's a pretty neat idea.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this brochure that we were talking about on eBay is a little pricey. They want to buy it now for $100 for this thing. So yeah, a little steep.
Yeah, if it was half that, maybe.
Right. All right. Well, we'll check in with these auctions next week and come up with some new ones. Right.
Guys, I just realized my air conditioner is still on. I hope that hasn't been causing too much.
I do hear it in the background.
Let me go.
As long as you're comfortable, that's all that matters.
All right. I was just one of the auctions that they have. A bonus one here. I was looking.
Oh, what's that?
The listing was the Macintosh sign, Picasso sign.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And it's a true auction.
Oh.
And it's got 6 days to go.
I've never seen one in the styrofoam like that.
Yeah, that looks like that's the original. How it was originally shipped. Yeah, it looks like the original packaging. Display is unyellowed, and looks like so often these things, including the one I have, they get chipped. And this one doesn't look like it's chipped at all. Perfect condition, original packaging, has been kept in storage. There's a McDonald's sign too. That's cool.
Down the eBay rabbit hole we go.
Here we go. So yeah, $455, 10 bids right now. Wow. We're watching this one just to see, get a good sense of valuation on these things. But I can imagine this thing getting close to $1,000.
I remember at one point there was an eBay seller or a web shop, this is at least 10 years ago, who had a few of these, and I think their asking price was around $900 or $1,000. It wasn't an auction, so it was just a buy it now type thing.
Oh, all right. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. Okay, let's see. We're rolling on to you, Steve.
Oh, let me know when. Sorry.
Did you mute yourself?
I muted myself for a second. My finger touched the wrong button. There goes my cue.
I think you got cold feet at the last minute.
Yeah, I'm out.
No. All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. All right, well, it was 2 weeks ago, is what you're saying. The Vintage Computer Festival Midwest. Where was that held?
So that was in Elmhurst, Illinois. And that was, so that's about, I think, 20 minutes outside Chicago, something like that. Not too far from the O'Hare Airport there. And so it was the weekend of the 11th and the 12th of September. And it was my first. Yeah, it was my first VCF Midwest event. I'm no stranger to computer events and stuff like that. But the first VCF branded event I went to. And from what I understand, it's a sort of an amalgamation of events that have similar initials. So it's not necessarily the same exact people for every single event, but they have agreements there. And the first one I went to was actually in April, and that was the swap meet that they had here. But for all these years, I had no idea there's actually a VCF East about 30 minutes south of my location. So I'll actually be there in October. They have an event, so I'm sure you can look that up. But that's in Wall, New Jersey, and Sean of Action Retro and I will be sharing a table, so that'll be
great.
A lot of geeky fun. But this was my first event for VCF Midwest, and my goodness, it was insane.
What was the motivation? What was the impetus to take you out? Because I mean, you flew out. And
yeah, it was not something I had originally planned on. I was talking to my friend Ken of the Computer Clan. We were doing some on-site stuff at his place, which is not terribly far from this event. So the conversation came up, oh, are you going to such and such? And I said, well, no, I wasn't really planning on it. And I kept hearing from all these other people online saying, oh, I'm going to go. And I thought, that plane ticket's going to be like hundreds of dollars. That's going to be ridiculous. And of course, I was able to find a cheaper flight, that made more economical sense. Of course, by that time, though, the hotel was sold out, so I had to find a hotel nearby and all these other logistics. But I made the decision kind of late in the game to go. But I'm so glad I did. I got to meet so many people that I've interacted with on social media or on YouTube.
Yeah.
A very strange experience. I'm sure you're veterans to it at this point, but I had a few people come up and recognize me. I was giving out little pins and stuff like that. So it was a very eye-opening and interesting experience. I got to geek out and drool over some of the stuff that I've seen on videos. LGR and Ken of the Computer Clan and the 8-Bit Guy had their little booth set up with things on display. And it was very nice to talk to those folks. And just everybody was so friendly. There was a ton of machines there. There was a lot more Mac stuff than I realized. And we'll see in this little video clip that we want to play in a little bit. For anybody who's on the audio-only version, you got to jump onto the YouTube version. This is an exclusive clip you can't get anywhere else.
You're going to have to narrate it for the audio folks.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen here. So let's go ahead and show that.
Do it Attenborough style.
We have, David Murray. Yeah, so there was a few panels that went on, but here's just me walking the show floor and getting distracted every 10 seconds. Tons of different stuff. Machines from places, there were British machines here that I've never interacted with before. Very cool to see those in person. Had some Commodore stuff
too. So some people are not just showing it, but they're also
so it was a mix of people displaying things and then a mix of people selling things. So you had that mix there, which is nice because some shows only do one or the other. This guy was selling a plethora of things, but you had inbox software. Somebody found an Apple developer CD in that stack, and they're imaging it. This was really cool. I mean, just
floppy days,
yeah. They had so much of these cool things on display. I mean, the dedication for lugging all this stuff out and putting it up.
Oh yeah,
that's just amazing. And then there were demos. You could just walk up and play these things, which was really cool. It fits John's shirt right there.
There you go, Donkey Kong on a handy of some sort.
Yep. And then there were these guys who were playing around with this plethora of these three ancient machines here running demos, and it was just so cool to see them in action. And this was this one guy. He just kept collecting stuff and buying it from the show. There was a lot more Apple stuff than I thought. These kids were cool. They had a beautiful selection of Apple stuff. I have some footage on there on my channel I'll be putting up. This is behind the look of Ken's booth there, where I was hanging out for a while when everyone went to lunch. You walked into the room and you smelled the burned dust from CRTs. It was a total nostalgic experience for me. And there was an Apple I board there. Somebody had an original Apple I board, designed by Woz, of course.
I'm sure that was under guard the whole time.
It actually wasn't. The guy was just hanging around there.
No.
But everyone was very polite at the show, obviously.
Yeah.
This Performa box went for like $150 at the auction or something like that. So,
they had an auction.
Yeah, they had an auction. I have some footage of it. I'll show in my video at one point. But yeah. Yeah, so those kids with the Apple stuff, I keep calling them kids. Right. They were teenagers or whatever. But yeah, they had beautiful things.
And the winning bid goes to the gentleman in the Atari t-shirt. No, the other gentleman in the Atari t-shirt.
And Mac84 was there. Mac84, Mark was there.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
He had some really cool stuff up there. So I have more stills and things that I have on my YouTube channel.
Was it actually Jositis was there?
Yep. Mark was there.
Nice.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It was so nice to meet him in person. I've known him since, like 2003 or something like that. So we were really on the Mac Rumors forum together, and we were always chatting it up. And so a few years ago we sort of reconnected, but it was so nice to see him in person and just geek out about the things that he has. I actually have a Mac Effects project I'm working on. Hopefully it'll see the light of day in a month or so.
Ooh,
but there was so many cool things. There's so many cool things there.
Did he have that stuff for sale? Was he able to bring stock to sell?
Yeah, I don't think he was selling things there. He was giving away his website and I think some coupons. Because there's so much inventory that it wouldn't make sense to do so. But what surprised me is the amount of people that were setting things up just to show you a demo of, hey, here, you could come in and play with this. You could print out something. You could see how this terminal works. There was a bunch of SGI stuff there that was set up, which I've never seen in person before. A guy was setting up. He had 2 Next cubes set up, and his whole time he was doing there, what he was doing was taking the original Next magneto-optical discs and archiving them and backing them up to other formats. And I just thought, this guy is cool. And it actually, a guy I ran into in New Jersey a few events ago. So, it's a small world with this stuff. And it was just really neat to see the things on display. I bought too much stuff, obviously. I bought a few video cards and stuff. I actually found a Mac Voodoo 5 card.
And you did a video on
you left with an empty wallet and a full suitcase, is what you're saying.
I will say that thanks to a few good friends that I met there, there were some things that were too big to take home. And I will give you guys the inside scoop of that. I didn't even talk about it in my video yet, but there were 2 Flower Power iMac G3s. And the guy originally wanted $400 for them, for the pair. And somebody went to buy them. And he went to plug in the USB port, the mouse into the USB port, and the white plastic on the USB port was missing or something had happened, and the mouse wasn't working. So the seller backed out and walked away, and I happened to just be friendly with this guy the day before, so I walked by, and he's sort of frustrated, and he explained that, there's a problem with them, and would I be interested in having both of them for $200? And so I said, well, I have no idea how I'm going to get them home, but yes, we'll worry about that later.
Oh man, that is so awesome. That is great.
Yeah. So my very good friend Ron of Ron's Computer Videos is going to hang on to those for a while. And the other thing that was too big to take home, at the very end of the video, you saw there was a boxed Macintosh 512KE. And it was $150 or best offer. Was only missing the mouse and the accessory kit. And this was a guy named Steve, Super Mole Retro on YouTube, and he did not sell it the entire show. I was very surprised. So at the second day, I talked to him. He offered me $75 for it. I couldn't say no. So he wants to really see it restored on my channel. So that's something I'm going to be doing. Of course, it's still away from me. I have to get that box somehow. So there's going to be a road trip, I'm sure, to pick those things up. Yeah. But I'm very excited. I can't wait to tinker around with those.
Well, great. Well, that sounds like you had an awesome time. And
it was so nice to get out and I know with John with his recent convention, just to get out and mingle with geeks again. So.
Oh, sure. And so when did you say the next one is coming up when?
There's one in October on the East Coast of New Jersey, and if you just go to the VCF website. If you just do a web search for VCF East or Midwest, you'll find the website, and they have a listing of all their upcoming things. I think they're also doing another East one in April. I don't think it's been announced yet, but I heard the people at the event talking about that. They're trying to get back on schedule for the events that they are making up for. So I did one video on my Mac84 channel of sort of what I picked up. So if you're interested in more of the things that I didn't talk about here, you could check that out. And then I'm going to do another part just showing the cool demos and things, because there was just so much there that it was very hard to take in.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing.
Fantastic. Yeah. Please go over to Steve's channel to see the full video. And I'm definitely going to be checking that out. That's going to be great.
Yeah. Just get a drool pen so you don't get some water on your keyboard there.
All right. Oh, cool. Let's see. No geeking down in Australia. They're still in lockdown.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed in the video, it looked like everyone was masked up at your event.
Yep, it was required.
Good,
That was on the website, so there's no surprises there. I had my EEP mask made up, so that arrived in time. And everyone was very polite and everything. I mean, there were events like the auction and the YouTuber panel where Clint, Apex Guy, and LGR were doing a sort of a show and tell type thing and Q&A. And it was a pretty busy event. It was pretty packed at times, but everyone was polite and everything, and nobody had any problems, which is always a relief.
All right, we're going to switch over to the news. Let's see if I can. All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. All right, speaking of action retro, do you guys see the video of retro test drive of Flappy Mac on a variety of computers? Plus, not an interview, I guess a question and answer with Gruz.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah.
We try to get Gruz on this channel, but I think the requirement was met with what you see here. So you need to go watch. And it was fascinating to see the tools and how he went about just developing the game. Of course, able to do a lot of it through Mini VMac, and use some development environment that he was able to do through there, and used a lot of other modern tools. So it's a pretty good video.
Yeah, it was interesting that he did the development on Mini VMac, and he said it was like instant compiling because he could set the emulator to like 20 times speed.
Yeah,
smart.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. And I haven't. Have you tried, Steve? Have you tried playing Flappy Mac?
I did for the first time on a stream. It was actually my birthday stream, so in the 23rd. And
vintage machine.
Yeah, I played it on a G3 Mini Tower because that was the one that was plugged into the video scaler at the moment. And I think I got like a score of 27 or 29. It was the first time I was playing it, and I was doing okay. And you could just tell the audience was not having it. They did not want to sit there and watch me play this for a half hour. So maybe that's more of a Twitch thing, but right. I'll get a high score. I do like the creativity that went into it. The game is really, it's one of those things that you pay what you feel for it. So, it's easily to get. And I was, I supported the guy and got the floppy disk physical version. So that's the one I was showing off.
Great. Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. It's one of those fun games that even if you suck at it, it's a lot of fun to play.
You say that, but I can watching him play. I was reminded me playing it on an iPhone back when it came in.
Oh, the Flappy Bird, yeah.
I set that down in about 30 seconds. Frustrating.
Well, if you do watch Sean's video, there is a little Easter egg, cheat or a hack at the end of it, where he does show you how to unlock the character. So if you don't want to play the game, if you don't mind being spoiled, there's a little bit showing you of what each character unlock does and sort of their little fun Easter eggs there.
Easter eggs, love it. Okay. I want to check in here with NanoRaptor and a couple the real quick rapid fire of products that could have been perhaps had the Newton OS made its way into other form factors, including the eMate 100, which I guess this would be a touchscreen too, right, with a full-size keyboard. But an eMate sort of in the body of like a PowerBook 100, right? So you've got the nice, cool landscape display. I would have bought that for sure.
Oh yeah, even if it was 3 inches thick.
Because you would have had like I don't know. What was the battery life on an eMate? Because you could go all day.
It was pretty good.
Like 8 hours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I mean, I don't think you can get 8 hours on a PowerBook 100, but maybe you could have if it was running that lightweight display.
So somebody 3D print one of these cases. Come on.
Yeah. And this one, the MessagePad 2000. I guess just in a white case.
I'm responsible for this.
Oh, really?
Dana was watching one of my streams, and somehow we were talking about the Newton, and somehow the conversation of beige came up. And so while I was on the stream, she made this absolutely beautiful Photoshop of a beige message pad, and so I am fully to blame for this. Of course, all the artistic talent goes to Dana on this. But.
Got it. Okay, there you go. So you get a credit on that one. All right, and this next
for better
one,
or worse, yeah.
This is awesome too. Which I think it'd be great if you could get a custom watch face for your Apple Watch, right?
Yes, yeah.
Some versions of this, but it's the WatchPad 941, a watch running Newton OS, and it's got all your little UI elements there, including a little dock, and it's just kind of a combination of an Apple Watch and a Newton, and that's beautiful. What do you think? Did you buy that?
I'm gonna take a photo of that screen and put it as my watch face.
Really well done there. And how about a Newton OS based iPod?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I probably not touch screen, so you're probably using that little click wheel to get around all those little elements in there. But
how would that work?
You just keep scrolling, I guess. Again, really, really cool creations. Well, we ought to check in with Steve and his channel, see what's going on over there. He did his birthday stream yesterday. Happy birthday.
I know. Thank you. It was a very brief stream by my standards. I know. I'm sorry.
An hour and a half. You did play with that Voodoo 5 that you brought back from.
Yeah, so that was a very late pickup, and I have to thank Ron of Ron's Computer Videos, because I was actually trying to solder something for him, but he was missing a part. So I went over to find the part, and there was a table I went to a few times before to get another Mac PCI video card or a FireWire card, and they had this card. It just said Voodoo 5 on it, and the guy wanted $50 for it. Apparently, it was double the price earlier in the show, so I wasn't going to hesitate on that, and I just snapped that up.
Was the 5? Was the 5 the pinnacle of the Voodoo?
That was the last one released. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is the PCI version, so it works on PCI Macs. And I'm getting dizzy with my thumbnail playing again and again. But the Voodoo 5 is something I never played around with before. So it was really fun to experience that live, and the performance of that thing, my goodness, is that insane.
Was that one of the ones that had the patch cable where it went out of the one video?
This one didn't require that. That was
Okay.
the Voodoo. To my knowledge, that was the Voodoo 2, because I have one of those. And
Got it.
This one has VGA and DVI built in. And so I actually put chapters on that video, which surprises me because a lot of people seem to be watching it. There's like almost 900 views on a live stream that's almost 4 hours long. But I put some chapters on there, so if you're curious about that video, but you don't want to sit through all 4 hours, trust me, I don't either, but you just want to skim through that, you could see it in action and my genuine reaction to the frames per second I was getting in some pretty punishing games like Unreal Tournament, up to the 60s. I was really blown away and impressed. That was honestly, hands down, the smoothest video experience I've ever experienced as far as classic games go on a vintage Mac. So I was really taken aback. The other things I'm working on the channel, I have that Vintage Apple Basics series. I have another one of those videos in the pipeline. So the reaction to that has been beautiful. It's one of like my highest performing videos as of recent.
So I noticed that. So what is part 2 going to be about?
So I got a lot of questions and requests from people in the comment section there about what other machines that I would suggest picking up, and then questions about SCSI interfaces and stuff like that. So I want to cover some basics of booting Macs, the boot order SCSIs and stuff like that. The SCSI emulators I touched on a little bit. And then people were asking, well, why don't you recommend the LC or the iMac G3? And I'm going to tell them exactly why I do and I don't. So I think that'll be an interesting follow-up. But the reaction to that has been great. So I'm very happy to continue that.
It speaks volumes about, I guess, the community that is growing.
Yeah. And that's what took me by surprise ever since I started this channel was you get people asking, well, how can I, download a file from my PC and put on a Mac, and what's a resource fork, and all these questions. I'm like, oh, somebody should be documenting this in an easy to digest form factor. Yeah.
Well, make sure you check out all those videos on the Mac84 channel on YouTube. All right. Well, we're just cranking through this episode. It's flowing. Because I don't have to talk as much when there's 3 people here. I don't know about that. Let's see. John, we haven't talked about next week. Are you around next week?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I will be
We'll figure
here.
something out during the week. Let's record an outro. In 3, 2, 1. Well, thanks to Steve, Mac84, for joining us and sharing with us your experience at the Computer Festival.
Always a pleasure.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you. Whenever you're available, you can drop by. Let's see, next week. You know what? Next week May, and I got to get with the Apple, the rug, right?
Yeah. Right. You think you might be
Myra,
able to make that happen?
Myra Berg. Yeah, I'm supposed to contact her this week and
Great.
set up that interview. So if she's available, then we'll take care of that and have that next week. If not,
I'll be watching.
We'll come up with something else. Let's see. Anything else we need to talk about here before we sign off? Thanks to everybody in the chat. Good participation. Lots of international participation. Good. All right. Well, so what's your very next stream or video coming out?
That's an excellent question. I have absolutely no idea. The probably the next one, because I already shot a little bit about it. I was graciously given an original iPhone, and I used to have one. I gave it to my brother after I got the iPhone 3G, which I actually won from Leo Laporte. He used to do a podcast, and he did a giveaway. So I won an iPhone 3G gift card. Wow. So I gave my original iPhone to my brother as a hand-me-down, and someone stole it from him. And so it's one of the pieces that I have not had in my collection for a long time is the original iPhone. Mm-hmm. And someone got a bulk of them from an e-waste place. They picked out a nice one, and we arranged something. And so I have a video. I don't know if it's going to come out next week or whenever. Probably be next week or whatever to have a gap between my VCF Midwest stuff. But it's basically me experiencing this phone for the first time. And it's so weird. The rush of memories come back of like, oh, yeah, you couldn't send multimedia text messages, the first year or two with the iPhone and stuff like that. So it'll be a bit of a different thing, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I had enjoyed just tinkering around with the thing and trying to get the Wi-Fi to work and stuff like that. So I expect to see that soon.
I still have mine.
Oh, nice.
Somewhere. And of course I got the new 13. Do a side by side.
Oh, which one did you get?
This is the Pro Max.
Oh, yeah, mine's just the Pro, not the Max, but my first phone since the 8, so I'm very excited to have something that's not laggy.
There's some great videos out there where people take every single version, and a lot of times you'll see like camera comparisons throughout the versions, going from the very first one and seeing, they'll show like I forget how many megapixels are in this thing, but they'll show the full scale version of a modern iPhone picture, and then down in the corner would be the resolution of the original.
Right.
Kind of like what they do with Mac desktops as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll look for that video and continue to follow you. And until next week, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
Okay.
Sorry, my stomach was growling over he said that. I hope that didn't come up on the audio.
I wonder, I was going to go get it. It's right over there.
Now you're coming with the dilemma that I had when I pulled out the iPhone I got. Where's the box? Where's this? I had all the accessories somewhere.
Well, Steve, I was looking at prices on the Voodoo 5 cards on eBay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, you got quite the deal.
So
since they're going for like $500 to $700.
Yeah, and those are the PC versions. So the Mac one I think is more sought after. The guy at the table said, well, they're going for a lot on eBay, and I was waiting for him to say a stupid price that I didn't have the cash for. And then he said, how about $50? And I'm like, here.
Did he forget a zero? Yeah,
the deal's done, so I don't know where the guy lives. So
wow.
But it had.
Now, is this one of those where if you have the PC version, you can flash the?
I think what people did was they flashed the Mac version because it had DVI to be on the PC.
Right.
So a lot of the Mac cards ended up being flashed to be on the PC because Yeah, and then this came with a manual and the driver disc and a disc of game demos. So I go over that in the stream. So again, fast forward and skip to the good parts. But
right.
yeah,
So I assume that means they can be flashed back for the Mac?
I would assume so. I would never dare do that unless I had proper documentation and assurances I wouldn't brick the thing.
Right.
But
Sure. Yeah, interesting. Wow.
Yeah, I have. There's a Voodoo video in the works. I don't know. I'll probably have to reshoot the footage because I got my new camera now. But I have the Voodoo 2 mezzanine card for the iMac G3. I have the PCI version of that for the Power Mac, and now I have this one. And I did buy some memory chips because the PC cards. There's a whole thread of people soldering new memory chips onto the blank spots on the PCB on the Voodoo cards. So, and it recognizes it. The chipset and everything is just made to do it. So I want to do that on the iMac mezzanine card and make that the fastest one that it can be with more memory and such. So we'll see if it blows up, but hopefully it doesn't.
All right. Well, I couldn't find my original iPhone. It's somewhere. I found a lot of other ones.
Oh,
the
okay.
3s and the 3Gs, but my gosh, these tiny little things.
I know, it's so weird. And just the resolution on the display, that took me back. I'm like, oh my goodness, you can see the pixels. What's going on here?
Yeah, when you can see the pixels, right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys got anything else, I think we'll say thanks to our audience.
VCF. I'm sorry, just the website for the Vintage Computer Federation is vcfed.org.
Okay.
So I'll put it in the chat. Oh wait, I don't think I'm not a fancy moderator, so I can't put the links in unless you want to dub me that duty. Because I'm a repeat offender here.
I don't know if I can.
I think you have to do it on YouTube. I don't know if you could do it through stream.
I'll go ahead and pop it in there.
Okay, great.
Cool.
It's probably best I don't have the ability to spam you. Why is Steve linking to his channel again and again and again? What's going on here?
I have this. I didn't at a certain point. I didn't save all my iPhones because I would pass them along to somebody else, resell them or whatever. But so what I did in its place is I started collecting the fakes.
Fakes,
cool.
Right.
Which
That's
are
neat.
kind of cool, for.
Those are cool in their own way.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
They are very much so. So I've got most of the models through the years.
Oh, cool.
Fakes, but anyway. All right. Well, we'll see everybody next week, and thanks again for joining us. Thanks, Steve.
Michael, get some sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody in different time zones, go back to bed.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All right,
Bye, everybody.